Hi, I'm Daniel Lucas, and welcome to Book 101 Review. Book 101 is all about the books that I read for the last 40 years. And today I have my special guest. She's the author of the book Bruises and Breakthroughs, none other than Miss Brittney Noria.
Hello, my name is
Well,
Brittany.
welcome. Yes, welcome, Miss Brittany. And can you please introduce more about yourself that I missed?
Yeah, I am also a mental health advocate as well. I work in substance abuse and mental health. I'm also certified in like a certification. I've graduated from mental health and substance abuse studies. So I am geared to also just produce wellness and healing amongst the world and whoever needs it.
Yes, and thank you so much for sharing your knowledge and wisdom to the world, Miss Brittany. Hoping for more and more empowering books like this to come. So tell
Yeah.
us, the title Bruises and Breakthroughs is evocative. How did you arrive at this phrase to capture the essence of your story, and what does it reveal about relationship between pain and growth?
It came about when I was like in my car and I felt like I've always wanted to share my story. Um, I was just on lunch and I just started to write the first chapter. Um, how it relates to like relationship and like pain and growth is it's a non-fictional story, so I feel like it's very relatable because it's very vulnerable about like my life and the things that I've went through and overcame and the things that like other people are going through and trying to overcome in relationships, recovery, or pain, and even trying to transform into a better version of themselves.
A better version of yourself. I like that, Miss Brittany. And in your experience, what is a crucial difference between a wound and simply scars over the bruise that ultimately leads to a breakthrough?
A wound is, I feel like a wound is the starting point, right?
Yes,
So things in life that wounds us is like that first starting phase. The scar is the lasting phase of what happened in your life. So it's something that's visible. You can you can see a scar. So it reminds you of the things you've gone through. Um, I feel like bruises in general, uh, they don't define us, they refine us, right?
yes,
I think trying to find out how to get from step one to step two to step three, which is the wound, then the scarring, or even bruising, and trying to find healing in your life, um, with whatever you believe in, however you get there, to not allow that to make you become like bitter, or just allowing the things we go through to make us better is the purpose of this book and the purpose of how I see wounds and scars and you know etc.
to make us better and to refine us. I like that, Miss Brittany. And tell us on the journey and the bruises. Which
Hmm.
bruise, whether emotional, psychological, or physical, was the most difficult to write about with honesty, and why?
For me personally, the hardest like bruise to overcome was forgiving myself, I would say, for some of the choices that I've made in my life because of, uh, it stems from childhood. It stems from, growing up, not knowing sometimes the right way, the right tools. I didn't have that. So I would say the hardest bruise for me was learning to forgive myself and knowing that, I did the best I could with the tools I had, even if they weren't the best decisions. But forgiving myself was the hardest. I feel like it was the scarring that I always saw in my life that I had to finally let go and forgive for some of the things that I've done. And it's in my book and it describes it.
Forgive and let it go, people. Life is too short. And Miss Brittney, was there a specific defining moment where you realized profound hurt was also a critical turning point, or did that understanding only come on the hindsight?
um, wait, I'm sorry, repeat that?
Yes. Was there a specific defining moment where you realized a profound hurt was also a critical turning point?
Mm, yes. I feel like, yes, a lot of the things that I've gone through, um, like hurtful things that I've encountered in my life, whether it was relationship, whether it was childhood, um, it definitely was a profound turning point to get me to where I am now. So I feel like everything that I went through was necessary because had I not gone through those things, I wouldn't be the woman I am today. I wouldn't see things in a healing uh, perspective the way I see things now. So I feel like yes, it was very necessary, and most of the things I went through were very profound and needed, even if I didn't understand it at the time.
Congratulations for that, Miss
Yeah.
Brittany. The book suggests that breakthroughs are not pristine. How do you navigate the fear that sharing your bruises might be perceived as a weakness or rather than a testament of strength?
Yes. Um. So I feel like how you don't perceive it as a weakness is just trying to pull from strength within. Again, whatever that looks like for you, whether it's spiritual, whether it's, meditation, like whatever you believe in, trying to find hope in hopeless situations because life is hard. Life is not going to get easier, unfortunately, but trying to always find the light at the end of the tunnel, even if it's so dark in the midst of like your journey to the light. I would say it that way.
Sorry for that. Go ahead, miss.
No, you're fine. That was it.
On the process of writing and transformation,
hmm
writing a memoir requires a reliving painful experiences.
hmm
How did you care for yourself emotionally while excavating these difficult memories?
It was honestly really hard. I actually wrote this book at the library, and I was like holding back tears, um, because again, like you said, reliving the pain and trauma that I've kind of like bottled in. This was also a way of me freeing myself completely by telling my truth and not being ashamed of my truth to try and help and heal someone else who may be going through, again, a rough time or ashamed of the choices they made in their life. I just want someone out there to know they're not alone, that I understand them. I get you. But how I care for myself was I cried. I allowed myself to feel. I did journal. I think it was like a day after and reflected and sat in silence. And I'm always trying to take self care very seriously for not only myself, but just my mental in general.
No mental indeed. And Miss Brittany, how did you discover about yourself and your journey through the very act of structuring these experiences into a narrative for the book?
How did I just wait? I'm sorry, repeat that?
How or what did you discover about yourself and your
Mhm.
journey through the very act of structuring these experiences into a narrative for your bruises and breakthroughs.
Got it. Thank you. I discovered
No worries.
that, you know, my strength is stronger than I give myself credit for. I would say it in that way. It was very reflective to see like my bravery as well and being open and honest about my struggles. Um, and I feel like I'm always rediscovering myself every day. There's no end to like self discovery, self improvement, etc. But I was able to really reflect on my bravery and my strength in writing this book to share with people, the the world or whoever needs it, etc. So I would say it in that way.
Awesome, awesome, Miss Brittany. Was there a particular breakthrough that only became clear to you while you are writing that you have not fully grasped while living it?
Yes. When I was writing about in so many words when I was an exotic dancer in my 20s, that was something I always hid, even in relationships, even in my daily life. I was never honest and open about that part. And I feel like when I was able to write this out on like on like, well, it's digital, it's an ebook, but just writing it out in general, if I felt free because I felt finally like I was honest with, my past. And it was also like closure, like complete closure to be truthful and to just be vulnerable and put myself out there to try and help someone else. So, yes.
Yes, yes, yes. And Miss Brittany, on resilience and the breakthrough. What does a breakthrough look and feel like in a real life? Is it sudden flash of clarity or slow dawning realization?
I would say it's a turning, slow realization because breakthroughs are something that honestly, it's not overnight. It's not something that just happens right away. A breakthrough is something that you're constantly moving towards. So you're taking a step at a time. You're taking your right foot and you're putting in front of the left, vice versa. So I would definitely say it's a slow burn, but resiliency is a part of how you reach that breakthrough by pushing forward. No matter what life throws at you, no matter what you've gone through, you can make it. You could do it. Like you can get up in the morning and continuously try. Um, so I would say it in that way.
You can do it. For sure, believing within yourself. You can do it. If you had to identify one of the core mindset or practice that was most essential for turning your bruises into breakthroughs, what would it be?
Accountability.
Okay.
Accountability would
Eh,
be my my turning point of turning my bruises into breakthroughs, taking accountability for the things I've done in my life, owning it, making a peace with it, forgiving myself. But it was definitely accountability that brought me here.
Accountability indeed, and I like that. Miss Brittany, how did you learn to trust the process of your own healing, especially during the long stretches where no breakthrough seem in sight?
I'm a very spiritual person. I'm not religious, I'm spiritual. So I would just say I'm always leaning on my higher power, God. I'm leaning on the universe. I'm leaning on my meditation, my sound bath bowl that I play. I'm leaning on like within. Um, I think that's the only way that's helped me continuously go in my life and continuously try in my life in general, for sure.
Well, continue doing that, Miss Brittany, because it's working.
Yeah.
So, on universal lessons and reader connection, what is your most important message you hope a reader takes away when they finish the final chapter of Bruises and Breakthrough?
I hope that they take away that their bruises don't define them, that bruises only refine us into a greater version of ourselves, that transformation is possible, that healing is possible, that acceptance is possible, honesty is possible. I hope they see the raw and vulnerability of what I put into words. I pour my soul into this book. It's not, I want to expand it. This is just a start. But I hope readers see that, you know, someone out here is honest enough, raw enough to try and pull them up from where they are if they feel hopeless, if they feel like they can't do this. And just trying to be relatable to people who are hurting and broken. I hope they see that there is, a way to make it out, that it's within you.
Miss Brittany, for someone currently in the midst of their own bruising experience, what is the first step would you recommend they take toward their own potential breakthrough?
I would say the first step to take toward like a potential breakthrough, it would be based on, every scenario is different. So it would be like, case by case scenario. I would say trying to find what works for you. Again, whether that's spiritual, if you're a spiritual person, if you're not, whatever you believe in, whatever you need to do to try and get to a better place in your life to find healing is what I would encourage anyone.
Yes, for sure. And your story is a uniquely yours, yet the themes are universal. How did you balance the personal details of your life with broader, relatable lessons for your readers?
Uh, I I just feel like I just put into words just different stages and places I were in my life, which I think we all go through. So I think that's why, like, my story is unique, and I think it does tell a personable story. But I feel like the situations I've gone through isn't just like a one person stance. So I just try to again be as honest and vulnerable as possible to reach and to hopefully allow people to hear me from, all nationalities, all races, all places, to know, like, you know even though we may not be the same color or we may not come from the same background, pain is what all of us experience. So just diving into my personal experiences of pain, I think that adds the more broader perspective to allow everyone else to understand that, we're all in this together.
Yes, we are all in this together. So, Miss Brittany, as an author, what are your short term and long term goals?
My short term goals is just to try my hardest to continuously like advocate for this book, push this book out, and just hopefully help and heal whoever needs it. Just to let someone know I'm there, I get you, I'm with you. And then my long term goals is to continuously produce and write other books, just about again self help and wherever my writing takes me, but I do want to dive into more titles and topics of, building people up, as I feel like, a lot of us really need at this time.
Good luck to your goals, Miss Cindy, and looking forward for more
Thank
success.
you
And
so
what will
much.
be your piece? Yes, what will be your piece of advice for those people out there who want to be an author like you?
It's definitely a day to day battle, but continuously to believe in yourself. And I know it sounds cliche, but if you have something on your heart and you want to share it and you feel like it's impactful and it will help people, I would say just take that first step. And it's very uncomfortable, but just just taking that shot in the dark, and you never know where it will take you. So I would encourage anyone who's a dreamer to please keep dreaming and know that dreams do come true. You just got to fight for
Yes,
it.
yes, people dream big because, well, who knows? Your dream will become true.
Yeah.
And thank you for that. Thank you for that
Thank
advice,
you.
Miss Brittney. And can you please recommend a book or books that influenced you, Johnny?
Yes, it was actually Joyce Meyer, and I believe I just read it. The title is like finding each day to like live and be happy. It's like in that genre. That actually helped me a lot when I was like working and I was dealing with a lot at the time. I feel like all self-help books I'll try and pick up and like read. I am a very self-help advocate reader. So I think I would just recommend any Joyce Meyer books in general too are very beneficial, even if you're not spiritual or religious. It's just nice to be uplifted by someone else.
Yes, definitely. And thank you for that recommended book, Miss Brittney. And how has sharing your story publicly impacted your own relationship with the bruises you've carried?
I think it's always continuously healing, like each day. And I feel like taking this journey of faith and putting myself out there is just, again, it's a continuous journey of like healing and, constantly um, growing as a person and self acceptance and like continuously loving myself and pushing myself to do more, to believe more. And I feel like that's how it's definitely helping me and impacting me right now.
Now that this chapter is a book out in the world, what does your next breakthrough look like? What are you currently building from your past experiences?
I am trying to build a team right now of, you know, people who I can connect with, and we can continuously heal and send the message to people who need it, to know that bruises are eventually breakthroughs, even if it's slow, even if you don't see how, even if the pain is so unbearable. So I am building that now. It's just, putting my A to B, my B to C, and my C to D. Just taking it a day at a time is what my breakthrough looks like right now.
Well, Miss Brittany, before we wrap up our discussion for today, I'm inviting you to please to listen to my other podcast, people. My other podcast, because my abstract essay is already in fifth season. Abstract poetry in second season, and my book 101 review in fifth season too. Comedy 101 in second season, and my food 101 in fifth season as well. Geography 101 in fourth season, and my baby podcast Law 101 and Mental Health 101. Love Letters in the third season, and Movie 101 Review and Music 101 in fourth season, and Science 101 and Sex 101 in its first season. Please listen to them wherever you listen your podcast. So, Miss Brittany, tell us, uh, ultimately, what does it mean to you to have a transform your pain into a tool for connection and hope for others?
Uh, it what it means for me is just, again, it just shows that all of us have strength within us, and sometimes it takes pain for you to realize that your strength is within you. And sometimes it takes pain for you to realize how strong you are and how, you don't have to allow things to determine your future. You don't have to allow pain to determine your fate, that you can turn it around for the good. And it's not a pretty process. It is still painful, but it's possible. So I would hope that. And I see that within myself as well.
Yes, indeed. Miss Brittany. Noria.
Yes.
Thank you so much for sharing your
Thank you
knowledge
so
and wisdom
much.
to the world. So, can you please invite our listeners to support your book itself?
Yeah, my book is on Amazon. If you go to books, you have to go to ebooks, and then you can just type in Bruises and Breakthroughs, or you can type in my name, Brittney Noria, and you can actually read it for free. It's actually, if you have like unlimited ebook Kindle, it would be nice if you feel led to leave a review. I would appreciate that. Just I hope you enjoy it, and thank you so much for your time.
Yes, people support Miss Brittney Noria because if you support her, for sure, more and more empowering books like this to come. So, Miss Brittney, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Daniel. I really appreciate it. Congratulations on all your books and your podcast. And thank you so much for allowing me to be a part of this, and continuously on your success journey as well.
Thank you. Likewise. All the best, all the
Thank
success, Miss
you.
Brittney.
Thank you so
Hmm.
much.
Yes, you're most welcome. And more to come, people. See you soon.